Hello and welcome to Algebra 2 tutorial. We are going to continue looking at the focus and the directrix with this video, but this is going to be much easier because we are not going to use the distance formula anymore. That was really difficult, and there is a very easy shortcut to get us there. There's a great formula for this that's not too hard to use. And so what we're going to be focusing on is if we are given the focus and the directrix, can we turn that into an equation? And if we're given an equation, can we turn that into a focus and directrix? Because they both define a parabola, we should be able to go from one to the other. So that is going to be our goal here, is can we go from one to the other and define a parabola in both ways. So let's start with having a focus and directrix and then turning that into an equation. So we're going to write the equation of a parabola that uses this as its focus and this y equals -6 as the directrix. So here is our focus and here is our directrix. Now yes, the parabola comes through here somewhere. Let's draw a quick rough sketch. Remember, the focus is inside the parabola, and what's important to remember is that the focus is not the vertex. That's a very common mistake, is making the focus the vertex. That is not. The focus is inside the parabola. The vertex is right here. And it is the same distance from the directrix as it is to the focus. Remember, the parabola is the same distance, equidistant between the two. So we have a total distance from -2 all the way down to -6, which is a total distance of 4. Cut that in half. Each of these distances must be 2, and so it looks like I've drawn this pretty correctly. To go from 6, I go up 2, that puts me at -4. Up another 2 puts you at -2. So our vertex is at the point, let's call this 3, comma -4. Now that's important because that's the first step to writing an equation. It's very easy to write an equation in vertex form. And because we already have the vertex, we're almost done actually. Y is equal to, we now know this has to be x minus 3 squared minus 4, so it went down 4. Now the one thing that we don't have is the a value. I just sketched this parabola like a generic U shape. What is the stretch here? And so the a value is where the formula comes from. All right, so the a value is 1/4p. You think, oh goodness, another variable. Yes, it is another variable. The p value, however, is really easy. We already found it. It's this number right here. So I'll highlight all of those. The p value is the distance from the focus to the vertex, or from the vertex down to the directrix. It's the same. And so that is the number that goes right here. So in this case, our a value is 1/4 times 2. And so our a value is 1/8. And I would recommend, just common sense, our parabola is going up to make the focus be in the middle, and so that 1/8 needs to be positive. And so we're going to leave it positive. If the parabola was going down, then that 1/8 would need to be negative. So you can see that's much easier than using the distance formula, and there we have it. All right, so that is how you can find the equation using a focus and directrix. Now we have to go the other direction. I'm going to give you an equation, and then we're going to find the focus and the directrix. So let's try that. So we got 2 examples here to do nice and quick. So the focus and the directrix. To get this, I'm first going to draw a quick sketch of this, I think. So if I think of this in vertex form, it doesn't look like it's in vertex form, but it actually is. -1/16 if we write this as x minus 0. Okay, so we're going 0 side to side and 5 down. That 0, of course, does not need to be there, which is why it's not written originally. So if we go down 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right there, and it's a negative a value, so it's going down this way, which tells me that the focus is somewhere up here and the directrix is somewhere down here. But where? Well, I'm going to have to go up a little bit to the focus and down a little bit to the directrix. How far? Well, to figure out how far, we're going to use our a value. Remember, a is equal to 1 over 4p, and that p value is how far up and how far down you go. Well, this time we know what a is. A is 1/16 over 1 over 4p on the other side. Now, oftentimes you can just do this in your head. Like right now, I'm hoping we can see that the p value has to be 4. 4 times 4 gives us the 16 on the bottom. And so p is equal to 4. If you can't do that in your head, and sometimes it's too complicated, you can't, you could simply cross multiply and solve the equation. So, if our p value is 4, that means from our vertex, we're going to add 4 to get to the focus, and we're going to subtract 4 to get down to our directrix. So if I'm down here at -5, remember we went down 5, and if I go up 4, that would put me at -1, and so that point is 0, -1. So our focus, let me write it a little bit bigger here. Sorry about that, is 0, -1. That was supposed to be a colon. There we go. And our directrix if we go down 4, let's see, this was at -5 first, and we go down 4 to -9, and remember that is a equation, y equals -9. So we have both the focus and the directrix. All right, let's do one more a little bit faster to figure that out. So again, I'm going to start this one off with a sketch. We're going to the right 5 and down 4. There is my vertex. This is going down again. So because the parabola is going down, I know the focus is somewhere down here, and the directrix is somewhere up here. So I'm just going to take a guess and put them there. To figure out how far down we have to go and how far up we have to go, we have to use the a value. So our a value is 1/2 is equal to 1 over 4p. This one I don't think we can do in our head. I'm not going to try to do that in my head, so I'm going to cross multiply. 2 times 1 is 2. 1 times 4p is 4p. Divide both sides by 4. P is equal to 2 over 4, which is the same as 1/2, or 0.5. So we're going to go up 0.5 and down 0.5. And remember, we're all the way right here at -4. So if I go down 0.5, that will put me at -4.5. And that is the focus. So my focus, the x value is not changing, 5, comma, and I'm going down negative 4.5. My directrix, so the directrix went up by 0.5, so that would put me at negative 3.5. Y equals negative 3.5. So we have our focus and the directrix. So we were just able to go both ways there. Because we're describing a parabola, we're defining a parabola in both ways, you should be able to go from one to the other. So I want you to try that out. Here's a few practice ones. See if you can go and write an equation on this one, and on this one take the equation and find the focus and directrix. Good luck!